Hey now, everybody. Sorry for the delay. Tarnation TV is live here at Maverick Cup Series. We are at Pocono today, and we had some technical difficulties to take care of. So thank you very much for sticking with us tonight. I am Blaine Darlin, joined by Rock Weston. How you doing, man?
Oh, other than having computer problems, we're doing just fine. Points have changed a little bit. Josh Mercurio had a bad race last week. He is now in second place, 20 points behind Nick Gunther, who's our new points leader. Tricky triangle, they call this. The reason why they call it that is because it's very, very, you're talking turn one, that is Trenton. So that is turn one of Trenton. Turn two, that is Indy. So you pick a corner at Indy. That's pretty much what it is. And turn three is the closest that you get to like a Miracle Mile. That is Milwaukee Mile. So it's kind of a neat little track.
A lot of fun, and tonight it's actually the name of the race tonight. I think it's hilarious. It's called the Problematic Pentagon 150 because they're claiming Pocono has 5 corners. So Problematic Pentagon 150 is about to get underway. We will be talking to Carnby Edward. He is our in-race reporter, and we were going to do it in happy hour. Happy hour is almost done, so we're going to get to the Grand Marshal, and then on the parade lap, because this track is about 7,000 miles long, we'll talk to Carnby for a couple minutes as they parade around. So, it looks like they've reset happy hour, so maybe we can make it work.
Okay, well, let's go if we can find him then.
Yeah. Mercurio's in the waiting room, but I don't think he's supposed to be there. But yeah, we've got Carnby Edward, you're live on the air, man. How's it going this evening?
It's doing all right. How about all the fans and everybody else in the booth?
Well, we got it all figured out. We are finally live, and yeah, dudes, we were talking to you a little bit before the race. Kind of a tire shredder tonight.
Yeah, this is going to be a tire shredder. You know how Bristol is in the modern day? Yeah, this race is going to be that. It's going to suck. Let's just say in 4 laps, you're going to run out of tires pretty quick. It's that bad.
See, the way I'm looking at it, though, is everybody's got to drive on the same track, so everybody's got to figure it out. And whoever figures it out the best is going to win, right? I mean, that's the way I look at it.
Well, here's the thing with this track. You really need to be smooth. Like, this track's notorious for people driving it way too hard and fast. And what happens is you swing wide and you'll eat a wall. Everyone overcooks the corners. So the mantra here is slow in, fast out. Some people just go way too aggressive and forget you need to take your time. And that includes when you pass people. Because there's one problem with this track. It is tight. And when you have tight race cars and everyone else is tight and cannot pass, what happens? Everyone's going to go straight to the wall. So you got to actually put some space between people. And you know what that means? You're slowing yourselves down. So passing here is not exactly very fun when you have a tight setup, tires wearing out too quickly. Yeah, it's just a recipe for disaster. We're going to see a lot of people eating wall and probably getting into pileups tonight.
I'm curious if you could run a full pit sequence without any tire issues, it sounds like it's not going to be a fuel run then. Like, even if you could get 15 or 20 laps on a fuel tank, you're going to be going in early because the tires are going to fall apart.
I think here's the thing. If you take care of your stuff, you could get a fuel run, because this track is notoriously known for also eating up fuel because it's a super speedway. This place is fast. And the longer you're on the throttle, guess how much you're burning? That's the main problem. So in this particular fashion, I think what's going to happen is we're going to have a mix between the two. Tire wear, and maybe if you're lucky and this stays green, it's likely going to have tire wear plus fuel. I think tires will be the biggest risk, though, because we're going to be running out of tire and there's going to be people wrecking left and right. So I think it's going to be mostly tire more than fuel. But we can just hope we get green flag runs. If we could get 20 laps together really well, I think we might see a fuel run. But I don't know, because I haven't actually done a fuel stint to find out, because tires just wear out too quick.
So the question I would have though is you say the setup designed for shifting?
Nope, no shifting, except on the front stretch. This actually is mostly you hold it in third and use fourth, and basically the front stretch and going up to the second corner. That's when it basically needs to shift.
Yeah, and so if you're too aggressive on the tires, you're not going to make a fuel run. So that would make it for an interesting race. I kind of like always having tire wear, but from the sounds, it's going to be an excessive tire wear.
Way too much. This track is basically eating tires like it's a worn out asphalt, like Atlanta bad. So let's hope the tires actually keep it together tonight and we don't see a lot of people cording it out and hitting the wall tonight, or someone plowing into somebody, because that's probably going to happen the most tonight.
Well, hopefully you can find your way through it. And I guess you guys are gridding up here now, so we should probably let you get back to it, get that thing warmed up. We'll probably grab you throughout the race a couple more times.
Yep, that works out, guys. I'll let you know if I don't get junked, though, how it actually feels.
Awesome. Yeah, try to do that for us.
All right, well, good luck, bud.
Yep, thanks.
Thanks, Garnbeat. Well, there you go. Well, as they get out on the track there, we should head over to our Grand Marshal of this evening, Sam Birch. She is from Surviving Real Foot. What's the name of the show? That's the name of the show. Yes, Surviving Real Foot. Dreamers versus Doers. I think it's a YouTube game show stuff. So anyway, I'll hit this thing, she'll do her thing, and then we'll go racing here at Pocono.
Drivers, start your engines!
I'll probably do.
Thank you to Sam Birch. Of course, my game decided to do a thing. So we'll reboot the game, and then we should be catching the green flag here if I hurry up.
Yeah, we're playing a little Discord tag, I guess you want to call it. This is what the guys that they do on Thursday. They do so that they can have more room for other drivers on there. They have them guys, they kind of tag up through Discord. And right now I'm having a little bit of an issue, which I will have fixed tomorrow.
Yeah, some weird stuff popping with the game sometimes.
I'm gonna blame Brian Wolf because it was Saturday night.
It was. They had a weird server issue on Saturday.
Something really, really weird. You couldn't get in, so I jumped out. As soon as I jumped out, you were able to get in, and then I was able to return and jump back in. And then as soon as I did, it was really, really weird. I couldn't see that, like you say, yellow's out, and I was still looking at green lights, and so something went a little bit awry. I tried to play with it a little bit, but I couldn't test it. So the first test on it was tonight. It's still, so what I'll do is I'll just restore my system back to before Saturday, and that should hopefully fix everything.
Yeah, and it's a thing too, and like you don't know how to test it because you can get into a situation like you can jump into the game with the AI and it works. And then you can jump into a server online and you can race around the track and it works. But then when you get into a race like this where other connections are happening, that can't really happen until practice. And now we've got an hour to figure it out. So either way, we're going to do a screen streaming extravaganza. So at least Rod can see what I'm seeing. And Discord is pretty psychotic with how when you share a screen on Discord, it's like 1 millisecond latency at high definition. I have no idea how they do it. I think it's magic.
Yeah, it's pretty cool though. That the fact that can see your screen, and it, like I said, it works out really good due to the fact that we mine's not working very well right at the moment. So
we've
looks
got
like they've had a caution already.
Yeah. So the third lap, we didn't see it. We do have some cars opting to come down pit road. Front row there, Merkel, Curry, PV, Norman, Mercurio, Hart, Uder Neves, Cameron Jameson, Johnny Faitasa, and Lucas Kennedy. It's your top 10 right now. Gustavo Carrillo is a lap down along with Leon and Augusto. Not sure for the cause of the yellow, because as always, NASCAR 2003 decides to drop out sometimes on the pace lap, or the parade lap. Sorry.
Jack Merkel, last week he made the attempt to try something different. So last year, due to a bet with him and Keith Hughes, he had to go to the back on on the starts. And so he tried that last week, and he finished fairly well, actually. Didn't win it, but he finished fairly well. Today he started on pole, and he has stayed out. So probably safer place for him to be is out front.
And we were looking at the points. Mercurio got dethroned as points leader.
Yeah, he didn't have a very good race last week. He late in the race, he kind of got caught up and tangled up in some stuff. And that, really dropped him back. And Nick, I think, where did Nick was second?
Nick Gunther, yeah, you got about a 20-point lead on him right now. So
yeah, Mercurio was running away with it, but Gunther and then Paulo Vitor have been really kind of, working, trying to keep him on there. Paulo did not have a very good race last week as well, so they've been doing really good. Green flag's back out.
The pacing vehicle got the heck out of the way, and away we go. Administration staff is in control of yellows, so they can throw them and then they can put them back green fairly quickly. This track is fairly long, so it's nice to have the little bit quicker, because the game by default will do 3 laps, and that's a long time.
Yeah. Not as bad as Martinsville. Martinsville does 5 or 6 depending on lap cars.
Oh, yeah.
They changed one thing about here over the Maverick. They play around a little bit with the grip levels and stuff like that. Not to necessarily grip them up to make them handle better. Ooh, somebody around there in the background. Lowell's car there. Everybody kind of makes it by him. Staying high. At Lamas?
We'll see here.
They are 60. Yeah, 62.
Yeah, it's Figueroa. Miguel in the 62.
Just overshot the tunnel turn just enough. Kind of looked like, and got a little out of shape. Not hard to do. If the setup is really, really good, you almost take the tunnel turn wide open. You don't really lift all that much there. 1 and 2, you lift a little. 3, you really lift. That's just like driving at Martinsville. It's a flat corner. That's where you see them now. They're right there in actually, that's the tunnel turn. You come down here now into 3, you'll note that the track just does not seem to bank and have as much banking as what you saw previous corner.
A cool track. I mean, people don't like Pocono, but I kind of like it. It's really long, but it's pretty cool because every turn is very unique. There's actually a version, I don't know if you've played it. There's a version of Pocono it's the same track, but they shortened it. It's like called Short Pocono. Yeah. Same track, but they squashed it. So it's only like 1.8 miles or whatever it is. Like they shortened it up a bit.
I have to look it up.
It was pretty neat. Yeah, I raced on it in a league. I would have been 6 or 7 years ago now, but I remember they used to run the short version of Pocono, where it's the same exact track, just kind of you put it through the dryer, shrunk her down a little bit.
That's pretty cool. This track. This track has the longest straightaway in NASCAR. So,
I thought you were going to say in the world.
No, longest straightaway in NASCAR.
Longest straightaway in the world. See if we can find the point of caution here. Something happened somewhere and they put the yellow flag out. Oh, we got a car backwards right about there. Looks like Matthias Yankee. Oh, he kind of got up into the wall there.
So the front stretch at Pocono Raceway is 3,740 feet long.
Wow.
A long straightaway.
So it looks like Matt McIntyre got into the 97 there, and they both go around. So that brings out caution flag number 2.
And we didn't get a chance to do it earlier because it was a little busy trying to get in here. But they have...
Oh, yes. Benjamin sends us all the stats.
Yes, they have 8 Dodges, 7 Chevrolets, 7 Toyotas, 5 Cadillacs. I tell you, Mercurio is recruiting like crazy. 4 Fords, 5 Fords. There we go.
Suffering succotash.
We're at 3 times fast. 3 Kias and the one lone Honda of Keith Hughes,
who we're staring at right now.
And tonight's race, there are 22 drivers from the United States, 8 from Brazil, 2 from Argentina, 2 from Ecuador, 2 from Mexico, 2 from Venezuela, 1 from Chile, and 1 from Colombia.
I love that, man.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool. Even the leagues that we've been with, you come in here and getting a lot of different names from a lot of different countries. It's so cool. And even was it yesterday? No, it was not yesterday. Sunday, when we did the William Hawkins Memorial Race over there at SMO, they had a female. A whole bunch of ladies were out there driving because we had Rose Beckstrom in second place, so she actually got an interview because she finished in second on the podium. We had Flandre Wilson, Kiara Reynolds was in there, Zoe Billings, and Corey too. She didn't race, but that's another gal that races over there at SMO. So it's pretty cool to see like a lot of the ladies getting in there too.
Yeah.
And like a name like Flandre Wilson, I wouldn't have known one way or the other because I've never heard that name before, but apparently it is Irish. Merkel is staying on pit road there. I'm kind of wondering, he pitted it, showing him in 4th. And he's just staying there.
Wheels were turning, so I don't know what was the reasoning for that.
Here he goes. Interesting.
Well, sometimes they might have something they have to do, so he might have had to step away for a second. And perfect track to do that on. She'll come back out way in the back, but you will still stay on the lead lap because you have time to be able to do that.
How long is Pocono? It's 2.5, right?
I think it's 2.5 miles along. I'm going to find that out for you.
Because I know that Talladega is 2.66, and it's technically the longest, but I think this is 2.5, which is pretty crazy. It's as long as Daytona would be.
Yeah, but a little bit different.
Oh, yeah, very much so. A little bit different. And there's the explanation right here of why they call this the problematic Pentagon. That's totally a lie, though. It's only a 3-turn course, but hey, whatever. I don't count the entry. I don't count the entrance of 1 as turn 1 and the exit of 1 turn 2. I don't do that.
Yeah.
The cake is a lie.
Some people do. Some people don't. You know what I mean? It's like Talladega, Daytona. There is technically 4 corners to count the tri-ovals, but I always say it's 1, 2, and 3 because you don't have the issues per se like you would here, where you know, you're gonna go into one and you're gonna do what's called landing. So when you land in turn one is when you lift off, you kind of apply the brakes, and then the front of the car drops. You don't have that at Talladega and Daytona. You're pretty much just wide open.
Right.
It's a little different. So I never really calculated them as, you know, sectional corners. And the reason why you sectional them is kind of so you can say, well, when it lands, it's doing this. Well, that's in turn one. You know, when I accelerate, you're transferring all the way to the back. That's coming out of the corner. So that's turn, you know, section 2 or turn 2. That's why it's a little bit more important. That's what took me so long to get used to in go-karts, because we don't lift, so we never really transfer too much weight.
Right, yeah. Go-karts, you're just driving wide open, just sliding them, right?
Yeah, you don't slide. It's an amazing grip, amazing amount of grip that you would not believe how much G-forces are there. And you just don't lift, so the weight transfer is not that much. Looks like Anthony McCurry out front, Noah Hart on the outside there, Josh Mercurio right there at third. He's always running around up there. That's why he was the point leader. What does Nick have for the car? Is he running the purple one tonight, or? It's got 2 and 3.
Yeah, let's check it out here. The 55. Oh, that's a good camera angle. Check that out. Watch these cars come down the straightaway. Oh, they're crashing, but we can't see anything. Okay.
Benjamin Snyder's involved. I mean,
oh, man.
Wow, that is a parking lot.
Stop driving, ladies and gentlemen. Udo Neves in that 16 DHL car. We're checking that out on pit road. It's not FedEx, but DHL is still cool. I used to work with them, too.
I don't know if I like that. What was that view there with the back of the light?
Yeah, that was kind of neat, eh?
Was that TV1 or something?
It would have been TV2 probably. It's one of those things where what happens, I guess, is like maybe they've changed where stuff is sitting on the track, but they never updated the cam file. So sometimes, you know, like this is a cool looking version of Pocono, but it's definitely a lot busier behind the walls, detail wise, than it would have been on the original game track. So they're probably using the original game track camera file, but then there's all kinds of extra cool stuff on the track side, and sometimes stuff just lands in front of it.
I see Paulo Vitor there. He was like the last car to leave the situation. He really had nowhere to go. Couldn't really get out of there. He had to wait for people to get situated and get moving. He's our third place in points right now. Hopefully, you know, they can fix that car up and he can continue on.
Yeah, I mean, it's a fast track, and aero does definitely play a big deal here, especially on this Long Pond straight. You could say it. But the front straightaway's the longest, so that, you know, a couple of really long straightaways here.
So far,
the
only people that are on the live broadcast that are typing, you got Robert Spring in there. You know, he said he's caught 7 fish today in Valheim. He was
nice.
Around fishing a little bit. Josie Landy Pavillon. Hello from Boston. JLP. Yeah. And then we go back to Robert, and he was saying, when we were talking about the go-kart racing, he was like, rail racing, Blaine, never lift in karts. He's I'm hoping we can get him over there. I'd love to see him take it out, just to try it out, just to go out, you know, in a practice day and just put him in it and let him just go out and try it. Oh yeah, I think he'd have a lot of fun. He'd have a lot of fun. He wouldn't be going all that fast, I guarantee you that, because
you need 10 minutes to get the hang of the thing, because they would feel like they're just out of control.
Absolutely do. Great thing about it is the kart handles so well that, you know, it's a little bit easier to do when it handles, because when you start out and it don't handle, that's when it's not fun.
Just riding along with our race reporter here, Karen B. Edward. Did you want to grab him and pull him up here?
Sure, why not? Let me see if we can find him.
Oh, we can find him.
We found him. Had to put him into the waiting room so he knew that he was coming in here. How are we having fun out there, Kirby?
No. Not at all. I've been in all 3 wrecks, so this has not been fun at all. I hope you guys are enjoying the Crash Fest so far. We're under caution cooldown this time by, so expect new carnage to come.
I've got a question for you. You've been in all 3 wrecks. Why?
Basically, my teammate doored me by accident. The other time it was just a pile up, and the last one I was stuck in the pile up a little bit. I'm good though. Car's not too bad. I should be fine.
See, now you got 40 people on track, and you're in 13th right now, so not too bad.
Well, I'm a little bit far away from the guys in the rear who are causing like the majority of the problems, so I think I should be fine.
Yeah, we called that the parking lot there on the back. I think it was on the Long Pond straightaway. It was
there's gonna be some people getting some talking later, so yeah, there's definitely gonna be some issues after this race, but that's neither here nor there.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll let you get back at it. Keep your head down. You know, like we always say, keep your nose down, your tail up, and go get them.
At this point, that's all I can do because we're about to get going. So.
All right. Stay out of trouble this time. Good luck.
I'm gonna try. Enjoy. It's probably gonna be carnage starting.
All right. Good luck, buddy.
Yep.
This guy's a heat, man. How come we've never had him on the broadcast before? You know,
that's almost like that day Brian wanted to start doing pre-race interview kind of thing. We brought Doug Hillick up there. He was so funny.
Yeah, Hewlick, Doug Hewlick is a really dry sense of humor.
Yeah.
Anytime I've ever talked to him, it's so funny to talk to that guy. And I think Carnby, right? I've never really spoken at length with Carnby before. We just might need to, if he's not racing one night, maybe have him sit in as a third broadcaster just to see, you know.
Yeah, he'd have fun.
Yeah,
so I see Gunther's in his white cart tonight.
Just like, hey, Carnby, how's the track? This track is a dirt trap piece of garbage. I don't think it's going to run that well. It's going to be a nightmare, but you're here. That's the best part. There's 40 people here. We had to have knockout qualifying. Yeah, but the track's garbage. It's the same thing, though. Like I said before, like they all have to deal with the track. I mean, it's set up to be a little bit grippy, and they tweak the setup throughout the week prior, and then they lock it in, and away we go. Everybody gets the same setup, and like we even say up here in Canada, right? Like when people are crying about the condition of the ice rink, because we're playing hockey on like a warm day and the ice is falling apart. All the ice is crap. Yeah, but we all have to play on the same rink. Right? Look at this. This is the cool thing about Pocono. Look at that.
Yeah. The one car, Carol down there, way down, almost to the little checker down there, and he passed about 6 cars, which is legal to do. As soon as they get past the start-finish line, they can go anywhere they want. He was all the way down to the very bottom of the track there, just trying to find room.
I'm on board with Carnby Edward right now, currently being 16th place.
I wonder if that's the view he actually runs. We didn't ask him that. We'll have to ask him that.
Whoa, there's a slow car going around him. Wow. Is that Phoebe? Number 2?
No, Dylan Young. Phoebe's in 8 now.
Yeah, Dylan Young and number 2.
Had to probably lift for the tunnel turn, just because of something up in front of him. Losing that momentum will make a very big difference. It's interesting though, because like I said, when I work on a setup for here, I run 4th gear all the way around. We talked about that, and I also clutch going into turn 1 just so I can save fuel. The way they set this up, like they were talking about, a little bit more tire wear, which is good. I like that. When you have to conserve a little bit, or if you overrun it just a little bit, it's not going to go so well for you. See Jonathan Peavy out there in front, right behind him there, Michael Norman. Team of Curry right behind him. These guys have been kind of the guys that up front for the most part. I know Mercurio was up there. He's working his way up through there. Can't see the car that's in front of him.
In front of Mercurio?
Yeah, the yellow car.
Mercurio, Zachary Hall. 32.
He hasn't been here for a little while.
Yeah, he's definitely a Maverick guy, but yeah, I can't recall now the last time we saw him out here.
Yeah, been a little while. I don't know. Let me take a look, see if he's actually even run this year at all.
Yeah, we can take a look at the points here and see what's going on there.
Yeah, he hasn't run. He's 42nd in points, so.
How many races does he run?
Looking at that now.
Because we're in race 11 right now.
He has run 5 races, so, yep.
Oh, okay. So about half the schedule then.
Yeah.
He's currently in
Hasn't really
5th
seen much
spot.
of it.
Oh, that's a...
Ooh.
Waitasa just got into the wall. Something awful right there.
2 guys that are leading in the points right there, battling it out. Nick Gunther and Josh Mercurio. They're trying to get past Zachary Hall.
Man, Waitasa hit that wall so hard. Things didn't even seem to disrupt it.
This has the safer barriers, and I don't know what, this is, was it the 2012 version? They probably don't have it like the 05 version. The 05 version, you could just tap the wall a little bit, hit that safer barrier, and it would just rip the whole right side of the car off. It was a great track. I love the feel of the track, the way the track drove, but the safer barriers on that thing were just atrocious. Very, very easy to get knocked out of the race just by a light tap to it.
Oh yeah. There's Noah Hart, Jack Merkel there in 9th.
Saw Merkel hang out in pit road there for a little while, so he's working his way back up through the pack. I didn't see if he pitted that last time. I would imagine everybody did, but gotta love that light. What a perfect view right there out of PB2.
It's literally like 1 foot in every direction wrong. They just had to be moved over. Yeah, okay, 6 inches either way. It would have been great. On top, at the side, somewhere else.
Mm-hmm. And I don't know if the correct cam file would have fixed that, because that's probably that light I believe is an add-on too. So
that's what I'm thinking. It's if they're using the original cam file from the Papyrus track, and then they added some extra lights, they just dropped one in front of that one camera and never realized it. Well, I never thought to think if NR Clips had a Pocono cam file. This is a pretty good one. I like these camera angles. They're pretty awesome.
Other than the light, yes. But you talked about the camera files. We've never gone in and tried to manipulate or build a track from scratch. So I would imagine you would just put a light in and not really think about it, and you don't know, right? Because you don't know.
Yeah, unless they tested it. And then what would be easier, editing the cam file or moving the light? I don't know.
Curio was able to make it past Nick Gunther.
Wow, that's what we call sending it.
He sent that right in there. I think Zachary Hall kind of lifted a little bit. Kind of figured that might have happened. And then he's got Jack Merkel coming right behind him. And what's that put Mercurio into 4th place? Okay, because I say it was 6th. So to gain 2 positions just on that last lap. We talked with Carby Edwards there about the tire wear. You can see Zachary Hall there really drove that thing in there. Lifted enough to make it stay, but it just looked like it was very, very tight. That slowed down his exit speed, and Nick Gunther is starting to just pulled underneath him, is going to get past him probably by the tunnel turn. He does so. Don't really want to be too wide going through the tunnel turn. It's not their ideal track for running too wide there.
Yeah, it's a wide enough track you can find different spots to do it, right?
You would think it would be okay, because the track
who just switched out there?
It is the narrowest part of the track, but you would think it would be okay to run too wide. But some versions of it just does not allow you to do that.
There's Noah Hart looking for a position on Tate Dorsey. Dorsey currently in the 9th position.
Hart's been up there most of the day, just running around up front. We see him out front. I don't know if he's led a lap. That was something you would have to do, because I don't have G&L TV in front of me.
What do you want to know?
Did Noah was able to lead a lap yet? I know he was up there.
Noah Hart has led 1 lap, yes.
Ooh,
and made 1 pit stop.
Somebody's around there. Figure out what corner we're in.
See if we can find out who it is there.
It was a tunnel turn.
Espinosa, the 68. See if we can back that up and find out what happened there. It looks like he took a lot of damage to the back of that car.
Oh, Young. I don't know what. The Young made a dive move in there. Oh.
Wow. Yeah, Young just pile driver.
Young
Miguel
just-
Espinosa got the worst of that, too. Young came out unscathed, really.
Yeah, he was trying to just get into the corner a little bit, and he got in there a little too hot, and the front end did not stick.
He's heading to pit road now. Pits are closed. You can see from the red flashing lights on the right there.
Oh, must be we're back under caution.
Yeah, so they're going to get penalized.
Well, depending on how much damage they have, whatever, they might have may not have pulled the yellow out yet. I don't know when the yellow coat pulled out, whether they realized it or not, but potentially, could have.
Oh, so there we go. Now we know why Joseph Landy Pavlon is in our YouTube chat and not on the track, because the 68 is being driven by Miguel Espinosa.
Yep.
He's got Joseph's signature above the window, which I'm assuming is also on this side. Yes, it is. In a different position. I
was reading some of the comments that Joseph Landy Pavlon was putting in there, so. Robert said, "Oh my God, Blaine, that's funny. Focus."
Yep.
Inside you. Fedosa out of the pits there. And now you'll see something if his car is, capable of going with the newer tires on it. From the way Kirby was talking, he should, make up some pretty good time, depending on on the cars around him that are on older tires for sure.
Yeah.
Back of the car looks pretty beat up though.
Yeah, I'm surprised that the damage did not repair that.
Well, remember, this is the Gen 6 BR15. It has a pretty cool damage mod, but it doesn't have the same damage mod as like the Min's Cup.
Oh, okay.
Min's Cup has a much better damage kind of model in it there. Just about everybody on pit road getting tires. There's a little bit of mix up there at the other end of pit road.
That was some exit right there. Holy moly.
Everybody taking 4 tires. You're going down pit road, you're going to get 4 tires.
Oh, I would think 100%, yeah. Current leader is saying is Peavy in the 8. It may not be, though. It looks like it might be Merkel.
Peavy, not sure where he was pitted.
Actually, well, he pit from first, so that depends on all this traffic in front, too. So we're going to have to wait possible wave arounds, because right there, Alex Mills in the 64 is actually being scored in 38th. So looks like it might be Michael Norman being the first. We're going to find out once they go across the stripe here. Everything will kind of re-rack itself, and we'll see the positions change here.
So Benjamin was putting up into the post that right now they currently run the cup physics, but when they get to the super speedways, they are going to convert over to the truck physics. So which is a better way to do it with the super speedways. The suck up on them is so much better. The trucks, for whatever reason, seem to be the more fun ones to drive on the super speedway tracks.
Yeah, that physics package is great on Super Speedway.
So did R.J. Bishop stay out and lead a lap? Oh, I see him headed down
He
pit
did,
road.
yes.
Yeah. You'll get some people that are probably trying to stay out, lead a lap, come in down pit road, get their tires. They're going to start in the back, but that's okay. They actually probably have better tires than everybody that pitted the lap earlier, and it doesn't seem like it'd make that bit of a difference, but if the track wears as much as Kirby said, that would help.
Yeah.
You get out there, you lead, I don't remember where he is in points. Let me see if I can find him. Oh, that's why I can't see him. I'm down at the bottom. Looking up Zachary Hall, so. Harvey Edwards is currently in the 12th place in points.
Okay.
Ulysses R.J. Bishop is 10th. So, getting them bonus points is absolutely the smart thing to do. I'm sure he'll work his way back up through once we get going. Pretty cool graphics, that you got on that thing there. You looking at them at the cars when you're traveling through them like that. That's pretty clean.
Yeah, I do I zoom in too and then pull back because I can actually change the the perspective of the cars too, right? How do I do it? Doing it wrong. But as you zoom, you can kind of do like a push-pull. Make the car longer, and they look weird. Like that.
Cool.
And then I can do a Steven Spielberg dolly zoom and then squash them back in so they actually look real.
The neat thing about that is you can find out, you can say somebody's got their body warped, that's why they're so fast.
Mm-hmm.
One of the Twisted Sister bodies. Oh, Noah Hart got in there heavy.
Zachary Hall.
I have
and Carby
Hart kind of ran him up the track.
And everybody else. Gracious.
We have another parking lot in
Some of these next side cars always look so cool.
Yeah.
Always. Of course, that right there is Auflu Panicia. Apologize if I'm saying that wrong.
That was just a situation. Zach just kind of, I think he got the corner a little bit. Not Zach. Who was the other one that was underneath him? Got into the corner just a little too hot. Noah Hart, and just got Zach Hall just in a situation where he couldn't grip anymore. And unfortunately, once they start going around, the track, as big as it is, close up real quick.
Yep. Panicia almost got through it.
Looked like he got a little bit loose. The 46s on the outside of him, and they just tapped, and of course that kind of spun him around. Whoa! That car, the blue car there behind Panicia, was just barely made it through. Paulo Vitor back there, he's not had a great night tonight. Caught up in the big parking lot there in the Long Pond straightaway.
This guy's arm ever get tired?
I tell you, he's gonna look like a bodybuilder with his right arm, and his left arm is just gonna be normal.
What was that movie? It was an M. Night Shyamalan movie called The Village. I think it was The Village. No, it was called... It wasn't The Village. It was the other one. Lady in the Water? Then there was a character in that had one swole arm because all he did was curls with one arm. He was like this... I can't even remember. That movie was so weird. I just remembered the one guy with the gigantic one arm. Like, why are you just working out one arm? There was a reason for it, because somebody asked him. Paul Giamatti was in that movie, too.
Guess I didn't see that.
Yeah, it's a weird one. M. Night Shyamalan did some great movies and then did some weird ones.
That was a little...
Looks like we got people diving to pit road there.
And some people diving in, some people stayed out. Jack Merkel faked it going in there. Of course, that was on the restart, so everybody pretty much had just gotten tires, I think if you were involved in it, obviously you're going to come in and take 4. If you're not up near the front, you're going to do the same thing. Guys up front, I think they're just kind of using, just going to stay, out front, in front of hopefully any of this stuff that's going on. Having a little trouble finding their pit stalls down there, about around where where the scoring tower is there. I've seen a lot of little problems right there. It's the 61 just barely found their pit stall.
I was watching in practice. This guy's running into that tower on purpose because that concrete barrier will just fling you. It's kind of like a ramp. Michael Norman currently being hit with the lead. Rocking an anime scheme that I do not know.
Him and his that's that Seth guy. He really gets into
Seth
the
and
anime.
Michael. They're all into the anime stuff. Some of the anime is really cool.
But Mike is currently 16th in points. Wow. 655. My number dyslexia kicked in. 655 points behind Nick Gunther, and he has run all 4 races. He's just not had the finishes. Only 2 top 10 finishes throughout the season so far. So he's just not had, a great season so far, and it's kind of shown up in his points.
Mm-hmm.
Can see, is Ulysses Sandoval out there? I don't think I've seen him.
I don't believe he is.
He's 11th in points. He's not here.
Zachary Hall has just retired with a tire problem.
He was looking at his. He is currently in the 5th place, 222 points behind, but he's only started 8 out of the 10 races. This would being 11. I believe those you just look at. Did they run 2 road courses yet? And then he won't run the road courses.
Right.
5th in points. Now I take the 2 road courses and go out there. Finish it. Don't have to go win it. Just think about where he might be in points if he had run the 2 road courses. I'm always on him about that. We had a handful of drivers, even though they had just pitted a few laps ago, that stayed out, and then we have a few in the back that are going to be on newer tires. Now it's probably not going to show up like right off, but after a few laps, it may make a difference to where. I think last week we saw Noah Hart was one of the drivers that decided to go in and get tires when a bunch of people decided not to, and that paid dividends for him. He drove through the field, got out to the front, and actually led for a while until kind of a later situation got him back with equal tires with everybody. Still had a great run, but he showed that new tires were definitely a big difference. Michael Norman's going to be the control car. It's Josh McCurry outside, Jack Merkel. I believe that's Jonathan Peavy.
Yes, it is. Rocking the Looney Tunes car there. Looks like Daffy Duck driving it.
Are you saying that Jonathan Peavy is kind of like Daffy Duck, maybe? That's good.
Yep, I am.
Okay. That is kind of cute.
Got her painted up to look like Daffy Duck's driving that car.
Imagine sitting in one of these cars, looking in the rearview mirror and seeing that.
Seeing that, yeah. You're despicable.
Yeah.
Such a good cartoon. The cartoon is so old, my dad watched it when he was a kid. Of course, we watched it when we were kids, and now my brothers, I don't have any kids, but my brothers are showing their kids. It's just, the thing was made in the 40s. Yellow flag up.
As I say, I saw Mercurio go to pit road. Oh, no,
he faked it. Yeah, he faked it. Just gotta see when it came out here. See what actually happened. I didn't see what happened. I was focused on like the front 10. As the dust settles. Well, I missed it. That was a while back. It must have happened in the back. Yeah, it did. Matt McIntyre again. He's been in a couple of these things. See where it happens here. Oh, it was the 50 that got into him of Carrillo. Gustavo Carrillo just took a wallop there too.
The back of that car is pretty well trashed.
Yeah.
Usually what happens when that damage kind of shows up, it has a tendency to make the car a little bit looser. Sometimes that can be a good thing, but it also may slow it down a little bit on the straightaways. But
right.
It's unlike the men's cup. The men's cup, if you don't get any damage in the front and you have some in the back, sometimes we've seen at the super speedways where it just, you can stay going pretty good as long as you've got cars around you helping you. I like Josie Landy Pavilon's, he's calling this car bowling.
Car bowling.
So we'll just call the lanes down the front stretch, and the pins are all set up. The pins are all set up there in turn 1. Yeah, remember, Carby Edwards said that, or Carby B, did say that turn 1 was probably going to be Calamity Corner.
Mm-hmm.
All the front runners come down and take tires.
He's right out there.
Josh Mercurio had a great pit.
Could you cover me for just a second? I hear a weird noise coming from the other room.
Well, I can try.
All up to you, no pressure.
Yeah, all up to me with no pressure, and I have no control. I'm looking at Michael Norman, and that's all I can see. He did not have a very good pit stop, I don't think. I gotta see how it plays out for him. He was in second, cross the line in second going in. I don't think his pit stop was as great. He has Mercury in front of him, Merkel up in front of him, Josh Mercurio, Keith Hughes. Some of the guys may not have pitted. I don't know if Keith Hughes did.
Let's see if Keith pitted. He did, actually, because we watched him come off.
The thing that's not fun about sharing the screen is I can't move around and find other drivers.
Keith did pit because we watched him actually come out of the pits.
Okay.
Yeah. The noise was the wife playing a video game on her phone.
Oh, okay.
She doesn't usually do that. That's why I didn't know if she was calling for help or what the heck that noise was. Some weird like wind chimes or something. And if it's like a movie or something, I'm like, yeah, cool. But when it happens like 6 times in a row, I'm like, that's not a movie. That's weird.
You need to soundproof your studio.
Yeah.
Do you just you're on the game? You're on the new gaming computer. You don't play Valheim on that one, right?
On the new one?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I get like 500 frames per second. Running ultra graphics in that thing. I don't really look at frames per second, but one day I pulled up the F2 in that game. We'll show you all your stats and how much entities are in the area and all that kind of stuff. And I'm like, wow, like 480 frames, damn. I'm like, there's not even a monitor exists that has 400 hertz. I think they're going up near 300 now, though.
I think that's F2 because I use F3 to destroy things when we're building, and constantly hit that and it pops up.
It is F2, yeah. That's your stats screen.
Never really read it. I just keep going.
If anybody out there plays Valheim, you'll know what we're talking about. It's Pretty cool. Pretty fun. Never knew about it until Mr. Rod Weston bought it for me, like $20 on Steam. Best $20 I ever spent, even though I would have totally spent it.
Yeah.
Because, that's the great thing about Steam, is you just get, like, all these great little, like, games from companies that only make one game. Because when you click on Iron Gate, they only have Valheim.
Never looked at that, but some new players up front here.
Yeah, the 26 of Alexander Vegas. Christian Torres, Allison Rodrigo, Cameron Jamison, Tate Dorsey, Jonathan Peavy, Bryce Ballard, Keith Hughes, Joshua Mercurio, and Jack Merkel, your top 10. As we come around to start the race at lap 34 of 60.
Past the halfway point.
Just came out of turn 7.
You should talk like that all the time.
Oh my God, through my nose like a radio guy?
Yeah.
Coming at you right now. Lap number 34 has begun. We got cars shooting out to the left. Just trying to make this thing 4 wide going through turn number 1. Over to you, Rod.
Yeah. No, sorry, that's Christian Torres. I saw the Monster Energy car. Thought maybe that was him. Carroll went way high on that
thing sideways, man. Torres was through that turn number 1. Looked like he was almost borderline drifting the thing.
Torres is one of the keyboard drivers, and amazing that we always talk about Cody Lamas, how well some of these drivers do just off a keyboard.
Mm-hmm. And how smooth they are, because they've got their input, their input lag, like what do they call that again? Input momentum sliders and stuff just set perfectly to their style. Oh, I was going to pause that right there. No. It is. I was trying to lock the camera off. Looks like Nick Gunther can't get that thing to settle down.
Hard crash.
Man.
Gosh.
Yeah, Austin Plant there in the 48 was topsy-turvy. And 91, RJ Bishop.
Saw Michael Norman involved.
Yes. Your leader still an under green, Christian Torres.
The Plant is Dasani car tonight.
They're sizing them up. Cameron Jamison and Tate Dorsey right behind them.
Tate Dorsey's really...
Who's usually in the 35? Is that Carroll? That's usually in the 45?
Carroll, usually.
Yeah, so he's got a sub today. That would be Cameron Jamison. Well, you know what? I can go on that car. It'll probably says it. Oop, lost him.
Michael Norman.
The camera fell on the ground. Oh my gosh. Oh, we have lost control of the camera. Okay. Sorry, everybody. Hope you're not seasick. Because if you are, you definitely... Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Oh, Torres went around. So, yeah, subbing Jamison.
I called him Carroll earlier because that's what I'm used to seeing.
Yeah.
Of course, I, not being in the game, can't see or have as much information. That's why I say, hats off to Kyle Matthews. He does a great job for, sitting and watching Seth Cole's screen.
Yeah. You're looking at your new leader here, Cameron Jamison, driving for Carroll tonight. Just took the lead.
Very nice.
Still under green after what happened to Torres. Let's go take a look at that if we can find it quick here. Wonder, he got beat up.
There's that light.
Yeah. We're going to go way up here in the sky. There's no lights up here. So Torres coming into the turn here. Tapped the apron.
Oh.
Yeah. Dorsey checked up and still topped him just a little bit.
Yeah.
He got some help from...
Apron batted and got a little help from Tate Dorsey just because he had to lift. Tate couldn't get slowed down in time.
Wow, who is that just missed him? Somebody went on the grass right there.
Wow.
Oh, the 18, is that Lucas Kennedy?
Yeah.
I think, I believe it's Lucas.
Yeah.
Let's see, let's get in the cockpit here. This will be an interesting cockpit view. Oh, yeah, he snapped her down there, and he held onto it.
Yeah, it's a wicked drive. I liked it to go low, committed to it, and then Torres started rolling down the track. It was a great kind of save through the grass there to keep it going straight.
Yeah, because then to get it back up on the track, you've almost got to stab the brakes real quick to kind of settle the car down so you can then drive it, you know, so you're not all upset with the suspension.
Well, the main thing is not to put too much horsepower down and spin the rear tires.
Right.
Step on the gas too much there. So imagine you probably just rolled it, let it roll through the corner, let it roll through that grass, and just, you know, give it very, very light input so that it doesn't spin. And then, you know, just once you get back on the asphalt, you get back pretty decent control, although your tires are going to be a little cooler than you were before.
I'm more there with their Uncle Medina.
Must have had a caution cool down again.
Yeah, that's been in effect, I guess, for a couple of laps, because there's a couple of times that they could have pulled it right there. Medina in 12th, Kennedy in 10th. I guess we can look at that. What am I missing here? There we go. Medina in 11th, Kennedy in 10th. Salinas in 9th.
Laughing because you kept going back to the pace car. That happens quite a bit with me.
Yeah, I'm trying to get away from him. But trying to estimate when the cars will be passing them. Alex Rodrigo in 8th. McCurry in 7th. There's Cameron Jamieson again in 6th now. Hughes. Dorsey in 2nd. Okay, there was a big shakeup up front here. PV in 1st. There he is.
Oh, you got in the car there. Looks like it might have a flat.
He's
right
got a
on
flat. Yeah, that's Matt McIntyre. He's got a flat, but
he couldn't get to pit road because everybody was coming underneath him. So
that's what I was just gonna say. He made the right call, and like, man, I really need to get to pit road. But with the leaders coming, what are you gonna do? You're gonna wreck them all. So he just stayed up there. He's gonna have to limp that thing around one more lap. Cars out this evening: Mark Snyder, Benjamin Snyder, Zachary Hall, and Paulo Vitor. Paulo Vitor went out with an engine header. Zachary Hall went out with tire problem. And the Snyder family was forced to retire from that accident early in the race.
Benjamin, reaching out in the chat, said something about doing a full blast.
Cool, let's do it.
I would say either Merkel or Mercurio would be a good one to kind of battling it out there. So looks like the caution is out again. I have to do it on the restart on the next time around.
That'll be the best way. Let's see here when we got caution coming out. Michael Norman around from 29th position. He was right up there
earlier, but he got caught up in that front stretch out, exit of turn 5 corner. Looks like he like the other guy did before, they caught a little bit of the apron.
Oh, no, so
behind
Plant
him.
did the same thing. Almost synchronized.
And like we said, you know, Michael Norman's down there in 16th in points. We know him to be a better driver than that, but sometimes you just can't avoid some of the stuff that happens. And unfortunately for him, he's not having a great night tonight either. But come down Thursday, watch him on Thursday. He runs strong.
Looks like he might have a flat tire too. That thing's digging low on the right front.
The one that's driving the 68, I forget who was driving it for Joseph Landy Pavlon. I think it's a lap down, so stayed out time by. Not too many people stayed out. Everybody on pit road to get tires. Again, we got the 61 around. More contact on pit road. About in that area for some reason, it just seems to be a hot spot for trouble on pit road. Just two people going into the same pit stall.
Yeah, I think that's it. Like they're pitting at the same time their neighbors are, right? And it's tough to gauge. You know, in practice, you try to remember who's where. Like, oh, am I behind that guy or in front of him? Like in the race situation, you're like, oh, I forget. You know, like it's easy to forget that stuff. Especially under yellow, because like pits are going to be hectic. If you go a green flag run, there'd be a lot of different pit strategies, but we've had a few yellows here tonight, so it's kind of just everybody's going every time. Retired. Oh, Panacea has retired. Looks like a 14th spot. No explanation as to why, just says retired.
We figured out who we're going to do the full blast with on the restart yet? Let's see who is where. I would say that whoever's third or fourth place car, maybe a little bit further back.
Sure. Let's see here. Who do I want to do? Miguel Figueroa is in 10th.
I almost think like a roof shot would be a good one. Would be able to see, you know, just what's going on in front of them. See the mosquito hanging off from the antenna wire there?
The which?
The mosquito that was hanging off the antenna wire.
Yeah.
Help! Oops, he flew off.
If you want to sponsor that antenna, Tarnation TV offers antenna sponsorships for $1,000. 900 of which Rod Weston will receive.
Oh, there we go.
Uh-huh.
Go-kart fund.
Also known as the Go-Kart Fund.
Yeah. Very lucky. I've got a lot of good sponsors and a lot of things that, you know, help out. So one of my sponsors is a guy that drives what they call a ridge runner. It's basically a street stock. And every race that he runs, I get half of his winnings.
Nice.
Yeah. So really.
So when we go full blast, we will mute our microphones. We will ride on top of Miguel's car. Miguel Figueroa. I'm getting used to that name finally. So what you can do is turn up your stereo systems. Of course, the sound pack I'm using tonight's a pretty beefy one, so it sounds good if you crank up the bass too. But you know what? We'll shut the mics off right now. We're coming around at the start of this thing, and right now Miguel is sitting in 28th spot, so this should be a pretty good bird's eye view of the field. We'll get back to you in a couple laps. back live again. Hey now. Full blast there.
Yeah, we got to see a car disappear.
Yeah. I mean,
And when he
if anybody's asking what the cause of that wreck was, well, you saw it first person view right in front of it. So, yeah. Car lagged out for a couple seconds, and when he came back,
the other car was inside him.
yeah, nothing you could really do about that one, unfortunately. No. And that's the thing, yeah, the car disappears, and then it, the game tries to figure out like where it's going to be, and then if you're at the same spot, away you go. Sometimes it's crazy; it'll put you right inside the other car, and then you're flying off the track into the stratosphere because the physics engine doesn't know what to do.
Well, once they come back, you're pretty much melted together. It just goes crazy. Right. I'd say about 14. About 14 laps to go, I think. Somewhere around there.
46 of 60.
What did you get on driver none?
Driver none. There's none driver right there.
But I've never seen driver none. That's got to be something in your setup.
You just hold control and hit end, and it drops the camera.
Oh, no doubt. Okay. I've never seen do that.
That's how I get those camera angles where they're running through like a turn.
Yep.
And then, this is going to go behind the light right here, so this isn't going to be a good example, but if I hit control N right now, it just drops the camera.
Yeah, that's neat.
Yeah. Then V will usually go back to Keith Hughes, which I guess he starts the server.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
What they should have done is put some sponsorship on the back of that light.
Yeah. Yeah, see, like if I hit N now, like so that's why sometimes I try to do that quick when there's an accident happening behind. I'll just, instead of trying to find the car, I'll just drop the camera, and then you can kind of take it all in, right?
That's cool. Never noticed that. Of course, I never played around with that.
So when you go none, right like that, and then if I push V to go back to a vehicle, it's going to snap back to Keith Hughes. Usually at Talladega Challenge on Thursdays, it snaps back onto Metallic.
Yep.
It kind of depends, I think, on who starts the server or who gets in first or something, who that default first car is going to be. It'll be Hughes no matter where he is. If he's in 30th place, it'll lock back onto Hughes again.
With 13 laps to go when we get to the line, 12 laps to go when we get to the line, South and PD out front, Jack Merkel, then Keith Hughes, Tate Dorsey. I forget who's driving Carroll's car tonight.
Cameron Jameson.
Cody Lamas up there in the 6th spot. We haven't seen him much up to the front tonight. But I used some good strategy. He usually does really well. So let's see if we can get this thing to go green the rest of the way. Some tire wear.
Now, I wonder now if they can make it. They probably could. If we went green the whole way, yellow flag is out.
We didn't make it down the front stretch.
That's why the race is called the problematic Pentagon.
Glad to see that Nick Gunther is up there in around the 12th position. Earlier, we saw him barrel rolling down the front stretch. That one got Josh Mercurio there.
003 got clobbered. What happened to Mercurio? Because he shot right sideways. There was a lot of spacing on these cars. He might have missed a shift.
Could be. That or he could have dropped a gear.
I'll ride inside here, see what happens. He goes from maybe... He's in 4th gear right here. So he drops it to 3rd. So he's starting in 3rd.
Yeah, that's
everybody else starting in. Everybody else is starting in 2nd.
So he probably was in 3rd gear on the start. Did not get the good start.
Yeah, he might have cooked 2nd, maybe too. And then that's what happened.
Yeah, he didn't get a good run because he was in 3rd. I either have to keep focus on him to see if he does shift down to 2nd gear.
Yeah, we got to focus on the 86. He's running 4th under yellow.
I'm pretty sure they'll go down pit road.
I wonder if he communicated that. I mean, I would think he would have communicated that to everybody behind him because he did leave a lane to the right. They could have gone around him. And in knowing, like, hey, guys, the 86 is going to be on a weird start here because I got to start in third, I blew second. But then he got tagged.
A lot of it, too, depends on where your first gear is. You know, he could have done a, you know, a first to third, you know, dump, but...
No, he didn't. It was in third the whole time.
Right.
Because he's running fourth right now, yeah.
Saying that, you know, he could have done that.
Mm-hmm.
See the 02s, that's the one we saw earlier, have the disconnect and then came back, and when they came back, 62 is kind of inside of it. Does not have very good connection tonight for some reason.
The 02?
Yeah.
Of Carly Edwards?
Isn't that the one that the 62 got into? He kind of disappeared there in front of him?
I think so, yeah. That's Carnby right there.
Going to be down to 10 to go here. So far, probably, 8 to go when we go back. Question 2 is, as I say, did anybody out front pit?
Doesn't look like it.
I'm kind of curious what Noah Hart did. Seen him put tires on and come through the field pretty good. He decided to go down pit road. Could be a good strategy, possibly, when, you know, with very few races left to go, laps left to go. You know, and it might be something that he may be able to work his way up through the field with.
Because he's currently sitting back there in 20th.
It was right there around the top 10. He pitted and took tires.
Matt McIntyre, the lucky dog right there.
Gonna have 9 to go when we come to the line, which means we'll probably have an 8-lap shootout if the lights go out. Lights are out on the pace car. They're going to get them lined up. We're going to have an 8-lap shootout. If you pitted and took tires, granted, we didn't go too many laps, but you pitted and took tires, is it going to be enough to be able to get you up to the front?
Mm-hmm. You could definitely drive a lot harder, but then it's like, is there enough time?
Kirby was telling about it earlier, how it, you know, the tires, if you ran them too hard, they aren't going to last. But with an 8-lap shootout, you know, they would know more than we would, but maybe the tires would be okay. Again, depending on how it worked out, they may still have to conserve a little bit. You don't want to use them up too much and then to have the thing turn into a dump truck.
Yeah. I mean, if you are going to use them up, you want to save that for the last couple laps, not the first couple laps of the restart.
Jonathan TV is going to be on point. Jack Merkel, Tate Dorsey, Keith Hughes, Cody Lamas. Like I said, I apologize, I don't know who's in the 35.
Cameron Jameson.
Karen Jameson. Then R.J. Bishop's right there. And outside him, Anthony McCurry. That's your top 10. See if we can get this thing done under green.
On the roof of Lucas Kennedy at Lego Mobile.
Lego and grass cutting service.
Yeah.
Good job cutting the grass there in the tunnel turn. Good start. Look now, where do you go? You got a good start, good run going, and you've got no place to go because there's just nothing but a wall of cars in front of you. Looks like Merkel might get on the outside there. Ooh.
Carnby up in the air.
not to the 5 laps to go, but
Green's still up.
I think remember Benjamin saying something about we're going to have a cool down. They're probably just going to let it run out.
We have a cooldown and point of no return. Yeah, that's what Benjamin's saying. So the cooldown takes them into the point of no return. So there will not be another yellow flag until the end, the next flag we see will be the white and then the checker. Currently locked on to Dorsey, sitting in 4th place, he's trying to get around Peavy there.
Jack Merkel out front. 1 win on the season so far, so looking to, get himself back up there. Last season's points champion. He had a dominant season last year, but like I said, didn't do the bet this year, so he hasn't had all that much luck. Tried starting from the back last week. It seemed to work out okay, but I think that just doing that 1 week so far seems to have changed his luck a little bit. So far, as long as he can keep Peavy behind him. Well, actually, now it's Hughes. Hughes is behind him now. And of course, we believe Noah Hart went in and took pit. Dorsey ate the wall hard there out of 2.
Yeah. Using up the stuff.
Well, you're never going to use these starters again. It's not going to have a yellow flag. Now it's time to just go for it. He does it again off the tunnel turn. That car has got to be pretty tight for him.
Currently looking at Keith Hughes, that 82 is 2nd place. Trying to reel Merkel in.
Really gained a whole lot on him, but he hasn't let him get away either, so.
Yeah. Like Carnby Edwards was saying in the pre-race too, we're talking to him about he thinks he thinks that Jack is a robot.
Yeah.
Because he's so consistent. And that's how you win races, right? Like professional race car drivers is so consistent. And that's what Jack does. He's so smooth, he's so consistent.
Not too many tracks that we go to that he's not pretty good at.
Yeah.
There are some that, we've seen him have struggles, but, a lot of times, most of the tracks that we go to, he's right there, or, in the top 10 just about every week. This year just has not, he's had a lot of bad luck too, but.
Well, and the thing too, being that smooth, it's not, you got to be fast, but the consistency really does add up. No herky-jerky moments, no, overthinking anything. He just hits his marks.
The car's there, pretty damaged. Woo! That was close.
Yeah, he's getting out of the way.
He was trying to get out of the way, and right across the nose of Jonathan Peavy. I thought for sure that was going to be a little bit of contact, but he managed to get out of the way quick enough. Went down to 3 to go this time by. Merkel's kind of pulled out a little bit on Hughes, but question is Hughes, was he saving a little bit for these last few laps, or has he just used up his stuff and can't make up the difference?
I think he's kind of just sitting where he's sitting.
Oh, Jack Merkel's going to be saving a little bit. If he's got that much of a lead, he's not going to be going and just all out full. If he can maintain the lead. So,
and that's another thing he's really good at. He's really good at letting them get to a certain point, letting them get within X amount of seconds to him, and then keeping them there.
Yeah.
We've seen him do that too. They're catching him, and then when they're 1 second away, they just cannot get any closer because that's when he will match what they've been doing.
And the way we talked, we talked earlier is just how the tire wear is. You don't want to, even though you're the leader out there, even though it's near the end, we've got 2 to go. You don't want to go out there and just burn your tires off. So you want to just maintain that distance. They start to gain on you, you use it up a little bit. But you still, with as much as tire wear as they have, you don't want to go too far with them. What's he got for a lead right now? .44 at the line. Have to see whether Keith Hughes is gaining on him at all, or if they're just if he's just kind of maintaining.
Might just be maintaining, because he tends to do that. You think you're pulling him in, and then he starts to drive away just a little bit. So does that change? Not really. 0.39. There's a wreck back there. There will not be a yellow. But there will be a white flag coming up next time around.
Jonathan Peavy can stay where he is. It's going to be a great points day for him. Currently 4th in points. 114 points out of the lead. But Paulo Vitor, Josh Mercurio, and Nick Gunther are all behind him. So he's going to be making up points on the 3 guys in front of him that he's chasing. Although, the guy that's right in front of him is... Well, Keith is... Like I said, he's missed 2 races. He's a little over 100 points behind Jonathan Peavy in the points. White flag is out.
Yep.
We'll just got to hold him at bay for one more lap.
2.5 more miles. And counting.
Last time he's going to have to make it through the treacherous Trenton turn. Now we're headed to Indy. Or as they like to call it here, the tunnel turn.
There's the tunnel right there.
The tunnel goes right underneath the track, and what it does is, in the winters up here, the cold air gets down underneath there, and the frost builds below the track, but above the tunnel, so it kind of makes a little bit of a bump right there. That's why it's cut so treacherous. Out of Milwaukee Mile and down the Pocono Straight. There's your winner, Jack Merkel.
By 1 second.
See,
cranked her up a little bit on that last lap.
Yes, he did. Ooh! Jonathan Peavy got Hughes there at the end.
They might have been trying to get Merkel.
Maybe.
Well, congratulations, Jack Merkel. Led 16 laps. McCurry actually led 25.
Did he get the most?
Great run by Jack.
Not going to be able to see with the flag in his way. Be interesting to see if Jonathan Peavy, just didn't have enough, or the scenario was with that,
Smoke cloud. And the regular Jack's burnout. Maybe I'll just change cameras.
Cloud or the fog set in or something. Not going to have any tires left. He's very proficient at doing burnouts. So, we got Jonathan Peavy here. Jonathan Peavy, you got Rod and Blaine in the booth. Do you have a copy?
I do. Good evening, gentlemen.
So, you guys didn't take tires on that last one. Of course, obviously, going to keep you out front. Did you have any more for him? Did you use the tires up? What was the scenario there at the end?
No, it was pretty even all the way around between me, Keith, and Merkel. That last restart, Keith gave Merkel a crazy bump on the restart and just shot him out in front of me. I then proceeded to get a little bit loose in turn one, which let Keith get past me on the outside. And then just from there wasn't anything I could do to get past him. We were all just running the same exact lap times almost. I burned my stuff up a little bit behind Keith, and so my right front was a little bit too hot to really be able to do anything with him.
That great points fight for you too. Obviously, Keith and Jack beat you, but they're both behind you in points. So Pablo Vitor, Josh Materio, and Nick Gunther didn't have great nights. You're a little bit out of there, but this should be really good at getting you a little further up there and get better position to go for this championship.
Yeah, it would have been nice to be able to get that win. I led half the race nearly. I had 25 laps led. So I would have been real nice to be able to get the win, but obviously Jack and Keith had a better restart than I did, and so congratulations to both of them getting out in front of me. They're tough to beat when they're behind you, much less getting past them when they're in front of you.
And you've not had the greatest of season, really. Only 5 top 10s, 4 top 5s, and you do have 1 win. So, through the season, you're right there. You just got to keep plugging away and not have the bad luck weeks,
I feel like last week was the first week since the Vegas race that I feel like I haven't been wrecked coming to the point of no return or wrecked in the point of no return.
And that helps if you, because I know you as a driver that doesn't really go out there and, wreck people, but sometimes when you got 40 cars out there and you're kind of in the middle of the pack, you just can't avoid the things that happen around you.
Yeah. No, it's I enjoy racing here. It does get a little interesting from time to time. But when you get 40 cars out here, kudos to Ben for getting 40 cars out here. It's a 23-year-old game. You don't see that with every league. No, this game's goes pretty strong. It's probably going to stay that way, just the way it goes. And kudos to him. He gets the amount of drivers he does. Didn't have knockout qualifying today, which was really surprising. Only 40 drivers, but I guess that's a good thing to have. There's only 40 drivers. Most leagues don't have a struggle to get that many. Yeah, only 40. But yeah, there were a couple of good green flag runs when we had the caution cool down, but there were quite a bit of cautions in here. And that really slowed the pace of the race down and honestly took a lot of the strategy out of it. The biggest thing was just staying out front. Once you got out front, you could pretty much just stay there because you knew you were going to get another caution.
We talked with Kirby earlier. He was talking about how he felt like the tire wear was going to be real critical. How many laps could you go on a set of tires if it had gone green?
If I'd have been able to make a full fuel run, I could have made a fuel run. Saving tires, your lap's going to fall off 3 to 4 seconds, but you can make a full fuel run on these tires. That I was able to do it in practice, and so I knew what I could do. I knew what pace I needed to run to be able to do it. But when you get that many cars on track, just the odds of getting a full fuel run, especially at a track like Pocono that's nicknamed the problem Pentagon or the tricky triangle, depending on which way you see it, it has that name for a reason. Yes, it does. Blaine, do you have any questions for Jonathan?
How much off the pace did you have to run to get those tires to last for a fuel run? Like, are you dumping 10 mile an hour or just clutching a little more?
No, it was more a matter of just lifting a little earlier. And so if you were running full out, you could hit 52.8 with the first couple of laps. I averaged for the first 5 to 7 laps in the 53.3 to 7 range. Then after that, the tire fall off would start picking up pretty bad, and so you'd lose a tenth or so every lap after that, or sometimes more. So it wasn't a matter of clutching in or dumping a ton of speed. It was really just making sure you were smooth getting in, not sliding the tires, because if you let off too early or if you let off too late, you would slide the tires. So it was just a matter of making sure you didn't get loose in when you let off, because what you would do to make the car turn, you go from fourth to third going into turn one. Well, you bring up that RPM, it's going to break the back tires loose. So you just had to be very cautious with where you downshifted and how you were downshifting. So it's not a matter of dumping speed. It was just a matter of being smooth.
Wow, congratulations on finishing third. And, like I said, that's going to be a pretty good help for you in the points. And interesting to see if you can keep up this good run. And so we'll give you a chance to thank anybody you would like to. The floor is yours.
Well, I'd like to thank Ben again for getting this league together, having the amount of people that he does. Josh Mercurio, thankful he didn't win this week, because he doesn't need to open a points gap on me any more than he already has. But he's a good teammate, didn't take me out. We've had a couple of instances where we've done that to each other. But he's a good teammate, and so I appreciate racing with him, racing with Jack and Keith. Again, congratulations to Jack for the win. That was a good, hard-fought win. Wish I could have taken it from him, but he deserved it. He got there first.
Well, there you go. Congratulations on finishing third, and like I said, keep up the good work. Hopefully you can get out there and get this points lead. So good job, bud.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jonathan.
All right. Keith Hughes, you got Ron Blaine in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes.
Yes. Hope you're in a car tonight. That's you've kind of stuck with this other car there, but you ran around front off and on there a little bit. You got the end of it. PV was, complimenting you on your push that you gave Jack Merkel, which put him out in the lead there. Did you have anything for him there on them last laps, or just stuck it in there and riding around?
Yeah, I gave all I got. We were quick because I was hoping I'd get a run, but I didn't have it. My only chance to win was to push him to the front. Like I didn't want to be stuck in third. But yeah, we tried our best. Second, it's not too bad, but we'd rather have a win.
Yeah, and looking at you, obviously the two road courses you didn't make it. You're still fifth in points. A few points out of there because doesn't run the road courses, which I've been trying to get you to do, but you're right there, right in the thick of it. I guess you're really trying to see if you can win a championship without ever running a road course. Is that how you're trying to run your season?
I mean, if I'm bored, I might race the road courses, but I don't really plan on it. I just don't have fun at it. It's not enticing to me. I don't enjoy it. I did win a couple of road courses in the Maverick North Series. I only ran that so Gustavo couldn't win. I ran those races so I could beat him. That's the only reason I waited. I ran those. I'm very petty that way. I don't like the way he races, so I made sure he doesn't win.
Oh gosh. So to give you a hard time, but the only Honda in the field is I got a VTEC in it.
Sure.
Sure.
I describe the things. I don't. Somebody else built it.
There you go.
Just make the seat fit my butt. That's all that happens.
Well, you drive it very, very well. So, Blaine, do you have any questions for Keith?
I was going to ask about you don't like the road courses next week, Sonoma. We'll see you there as just off-track administrator.
Do say that again, please.
I said you don't like running the road courses next week if we're at Sonoma. You'll probably just be there as an off-track administrator.
Oh, you would think that, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
I don't like watching them either.
Oh, okay, perfect.
There's the funny part.
He's just going to be busy that night.
If
do
I'm
something
watching
else.
it, I'll race. Like if I'll sit here to watch, I'll just go ahead and race it.
Oh,
but
okay.
I'll just turn the server on, and we may just find something else to do. I don't know. I couldn't tell you. But what is the next race, or when is the next race? Do y'all know?
Yes, Sonoma, the 16th.
On the 16th. Okay.
Yep.
That's next week, right?
Yes, sir.
We're doing the long version too.
Hey, well, switch. We'll put you in the booth, and I can drive your car.
Maybe we can figure something out like that.
Oh.
That might work.
That'll be cool.
I like Sonoma.
Then
Yeah,
I'll
'cause
flame
Rod likes
everybody.
Sonoma.
I'll flame everybody. I don't care. Like I'll talk about how bad these guys are that can't drive in the turn one.
Oh, dude, that'd be, you know what? We might have something next week. We might have to do that. If Weston drives the 82, and then
Yep.
Keith sits in the booth, that'll work.
Yeah, we'll try it. We'll plan it out. Send me a message this week.
Awesome. Send you a message right now.
I'm always trying to get him to drive them, and he doesn't want to drive them. But
Well, that's the thing. Yeah, if you're willing to drive the car and get it in there, hey, why not, right?
yeah. All right, buddy. Well, congratulations on your second place. That's gonna help you a little bit of points, but like I say, you're not really points racing. You race pick and choose, I guess. No road courses, but we'll give you a chance to thank anybody you would like to for helping you and whatnot getting here. So the floor is yours.
Yeah, I thank Bell for being on the car. I absolutely enjoyed the race. I know that people are complaining about tire wear, but you could do a full fuel run on the tires if you took care of them. If you want to drive like your hair's on fire, no. It's called conservation, and that's part of racing. And It also slows us down usually. Now, tonight, it wasn't that great. In the turn one, it could be better. But I had fun. I appreciate y'all putting on the race. For the most part, I enjoyed most people that are on the track. Some of them, they could leave the league and I wouldn't care. But yeah, thank y'all, and we'll maybe see you at Sonoma. I might be in the booth. We'll see.
Yeah.
Let's do it. That'll be fun.
All right. Well, congratulations on your second place finish, and like I said, keep it up. You got one win on the season. You got to get a couple more, bud.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, Keith. That would be kind of neat, eh?
All right, Jack. You got Rod and Blaine in the booth. You got a copy.
Yes, sir. I got you.
So last week you tried it from the back. You qualified, then went to the back. Worked out. I mean, I don't remember exactly where you finished last week, but I know it was right up there. You weren't,
7th or something, I think.
It worked a little bit. Tonight you come in, stink up the show a little bit and get a win. Let's see. I know Noah Hart, Rodrigo, Victor, a few of them. So I think this should move you up pretty good and a little bit in the points there.
Yeah, definitely nice to come out. And I think what happened last week is I got pretty bad damage from that wreck on the first lap. Couldn't go nowhere, and I hit the 94, and it buckled the hood up on the car, so I had aero damage for most of the night. And so that's just kind of what impeded me there. Got the top 10 out of it, but I had the speed to probably be a top 3 car. So it was nice to come out here, and I decided, knowing how the tires were going to be really bad and the fall off was going to be really big, I didn't want to start in the back with a full field, especially not at Pocono where you can get a block track pretty easily. Just decided to start up front. Oh yeah, for sure. Decided to start up front and just try to keep myself up there, and thankfully was able to be where I needed to be on that last restart. Got a great bump from Keith. Was able to get the lead out of that first turn and just keep him behind me.
So the next question is, were you were out there leading, were you giving it everything you could have, or were you just pacing? We kind of figured you were pacing and just keeping, Keith at a decent, distance. If you had to go, you could.
I was, I really wasn't. I wasn't throwing it in as hard as I probably could have. I was lifting maybe a little bit early and getting back on the gas a little bit later than normal, but that was more so just trying to keep it from, tire safe, but it was more so just trying to make sure that I didn't get loose or anything like you saw Josh do on the couple restart before that and lose it. Just trying to make sure I kept the car under me and keeping him in a distance, but if he had got there, we would have raced it out. Just more so trying to make sure I could at least get to the end of the race with a clean car.
Yeah, we kind of figured that's what you was doing. It's smart racing. You don't need to wear out your equipment. We saw Tate Dorsey behind you there, kind of overdriving just a little bit, trying to stay with you guys and bouncing it off a wall. That's the last thing you wanted to do, was be out there and overdriving and bouncing it off the wall. Keep it straight, keep it going, and keep them at a good distance. That'll get you to the win, which it did.
Yeah, for sure. definitely tire management for the whole race. Wish it had gone green to the end from those last couple cautions. I had a little bit newer tires than everybody, and I was catching them pretty good. So it was gonna be nice to see if we got a green flag stop, what was gonna happen, how it was gonna turn out, and everything. But we ended up just getting those last 10, 11 laps or whatever green, and knew that there wouldn't be any more cautions. So I knew the first few laps I needed to get out front and then probably save a couple and then push, and just hope that Keith would just have trouble getting to me. I knew if I could keep a distance, it would be fine, and then have a good enough tire that if he did get to me, we could battle it out and probably be side by side for a lap or two.
Well, that was pretty awesome, though, and like I said, you got to get out there, defend this title. Blaine, do you have any questions for Jack?
I've got not really an off-topic question, but you always run a Gordon scheme. Do you have like a house full of merch? Or are you pretty tame? You got like one hat and a keychain. Some guys got like old tires in their homes and old car parts. Like Rodney Sullins has a hood hanging on the wall. I'm just wondering about your NASCAR merchandise. Oh, did we lose him?
Nope. He muted himself.
It's keying up, but I can't hear him.
Yeah.
What about now?
Hey,
okay, I don't know what happened. All right, I got a couple shirts, a hat or two. Most of what I have in NASCAR stuff is diecast. I got a bunch of I have tubs full of the 164s, and then I have some 124s. Most of them are Gordon. Cool. I used to have a lot more, but there was a point where I got kind of uninterested in NASCAR. Late 2018, 2019, I sold off a few of them. Got back into it. I kept the ones I have. I have a few of them, not a lot. Just I don't have a whole bunch. I don't have hoods or tires or nothing like that. I have just kind of the normal stuff, diecast, stuff like that.
So what scale are the ones that are like 8 inches long, 9 inches long? Are those the 1/24th?
The 1/24th.
The 1/24th.
Now, what I have a bunch of. So the first thing I was ever into was monster trucks. So I have, in terms of like merchandise stuff, that's where it's at. I'm loaded up in that stuff. Fiberglass, the diecast, just anything. I have lighters, pins, keychain, just whatever from that kind of stuff from the old days.
Nice. Yeah, the 1/24 scale NASCARs are awesome. The diecast things. My parents are hilarious. So my dad, huge Earnhardt fan. He's Earnhardt Jr., so he's got a couple, one of each. And Mom was a massive Jimmy Johnson fan. So they have them sitting on like this credenza at the house.
Yeah.
And you can, like, when Dad will walk through the room, he'll roll the Earnhardt in front just a little bit of the 48, and then Mom will do it. Like,
go back and do it. Yeah,
it's so funny.
Yeah.
A couple days later, you walk by the table and you look. I'm like, oh, Mom moved it in front again. It's just hilarious. I love that stuff.
Yeah, I have a bunch. I had a bunch of Gordon cars. I had a bunch of good ones. And then a couple years after he retired, I sold them off.
Oh.
And I wish I didn't, because all the ones that I sold were they're like quadruple in value now. So if I ever want them back, I got to pay 4 times what I paid for them. So it kind of sucks, but
I can imagine what that Earnhardt one's worth.
I had his final 2015 Martinsville car. I pre-ordered it, had it. I sold it off for like $120. You can't buy that car for less than like $350 now, and it really sucks.
Yeah, I wouldn't even know what that one my dad has, like a Good Wrench number 3.
Yeah,
I probably got it for him for Father's Day in like the mid '90s or something.
Yeah,
and he still has it, And I wonder, that's something. I mean, it's out of the box. Like, we don't keep it in a box. Who cares? Like, what do you? Like, oh, it's worth some money. I'm like, yeah, not really though. They're not going to get rid of it. Sure, it's worth money, but we're not going to sell it.
Yeah, it's those diecast stuff. Some of that stuff, like, you can have the same car and just have a little difference on each one, and it could be completely different.
Yeah. Yeah, because maybe they only did, maybe they only made 300 of them.
Yeah.
Maybe the other one's got 10,000. So it's like, well, why is it so rare? It's the same thing. I'm like, no, look, man, look at the wheels. It's the fenders are all scrubbed out on this one or whatever.
Oh yeah, I got you.
They would have, like you said, those little differences. Like, they would change a logo pack, and it's almost like watching people paint cars in this game. Like, how. I don't know how like precise they are with those details,
Oh yeah, I don't. The people who make the diecast stuff for the slide decals and everything like that, I don't have a steady hand. I could never do that. I don't even try it because I know it just frustrates me, and I just want no part of that.
Yeah, I've heard of that. People can do like the paint scheme you ran tonight or whatever. They could like take it from the game and put it on an actual car.
Yeah, they print out. It's called like water slide decals or something, where they literally like the water. They spray water on the car and everything, and then they literally slide the decal off the piece of paper. Slide it around like we get around the car perfect, and then when it dries, it's stuck to the car. And I don't understand how it works. It's magic. I've never tried to do it. I've never tried to understand it. I just let them do it.
That's cool.
I know a few guys that do that stuff. They'll go out and to like yard sales, and they'll buy, like a car that's not a driver that wasn't all that famous. Right. They'll buy a bunch of them for cheap. Yeah, and then they'll turn around and they'll repaint it, do them decals, and make up, whatever car you want.
Yeah, no, it's crazy what they can do.
Yep. Absolutely. All right, well, congratulations on the win. We'll give you a chance to thank anybody you would like to. The floor is yours.
Just thanks Fortnite Squad for giving me a good car. Nick Rett for stepping in on this car. Thankfully, we were able to get it to victory lane this time. Hopefully, we can be in here talking to you guys a bunch more this season. Hopefully, for some wins, and hopefully, I can start making up some points so we can get back in this fight and be able to back this championship up.
Well, there you go. Congratulations again on the win, and you work your way back up that top of that point. So you got to see if you can knock Mercurio off that. Well, actually, now going in it was Gunther, so it'd be interesting to see who finished ahead of who. Who is on the points lead?
It'll probably still be Gunther. I think Josh got into an incident inside the point of no return. I do think that there's a chance Josh will be EOL'd post-race, but we'll just have to go through penalties and see what happens there. And hopefully not, but I heard some rumblings that he did, so I'll have to go through it and see, and we'll have actual points and everything like that probably the next day or two, and we'll know for sure.
Cool.
All right. Well, congratulations again, and keep up the good work.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Jack.
Yes,
well, there you go. Staring at this. Sorry, go ahead.
As I say, another one in the books.
Yep. And staring at the screen right now, tomorrow we will be back live again at the All-Star Racing League, their Cup Series, open setup, Michigan. That'll be a lot of fun. Call it an open setup race with those guys is always cool. Thursday we'll be at the Rolling Thunder Gaming doing the Talladega Challenge, season number 68. Holy smokes. Tarnation TV production and Flat Out Racing Network commentary. Saturday, no broadcast, but they are running race number 9 of 10 over there at the Premier Talladega Super Speedway Series.
I'll be racing.
Because, you'll be out there racing with those bikes, and that's always a good show, too. They're getting down to it. The wife and I are out of town, so we can't do the broadcast, but the following week will be the championship finale race in that series, so that'll be cool. They just, same as Maverick, they just track points right to the last race, so there's no fancy playoff knockouts. Just get out there and run it, and we'll see what happens. It'll take it right to the last lap, probably. But, there you go. Next week, we will return here at Maverick. Sonoma. Yeah.
Sears Point.
Yes. Sears Point. That's how I know it.
Yeah.
All us old guys.
Well, then it was an Xfinidian because that's what the sponsor was, and then Sonoma. Yeah, it's got different names.
Oh yeah, Infineon was one. Yeah, I forgot about that one too. But that'll be cool. Next week some road coursing, and then as you can see there, we round out June at Chicagoland. So yeah, thanks for watching as always. Thanks to the Maverick Cup Series for having us in here to do all these broadcasts for them. Of course, thank you to everybody on YouTube for interacting in the live chat. That's cool. We try to get to all of it, but like you guys are rocking and rolling on Tuesdays, man. We can't keep up with something like most of that stuff in there, but thank you very much to everybody who did interact with that. Of course, the drivers, 40 people on a Tuesday showing up to run Pocono. Full house again. And, we couldn't do this without the drivers. We couldn't do it without Maverick. And, of course, the people watching the channel want to see it, so thank you to them as well. As always, Rod Weston, thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
And, yes, If the women don't find you handsome, they should at least find you handy. Keep your stick on the ice.